Hey guys, welcome back. Um, I was thinking about subscribers. I guess when you get a certain number of subscribers, you're supposed to do something. And when I got 100 subscribers, I didn't do anything. And when I get 200, I probably won't. I guess it feels like I'm cheating. I guess because I just follow people on Twitter and then they follow me back. So it's like they're not really real subscribers. The sound sounds weird, doesn't it? Is everything okay? Oh, I guess so. I don't know. I guess I am. It makes me happy to know that there are a couple people who watch once in a while and they're getting something out of it. That makes me really happy. But I guess if I ever got 1,000, that would be kind of a big deal. Oop. It's not. I don't know. It's not very charismatic to talk about, I feel like. Or I don't like talking about it. Because that's not, I guess just because that's not why I'm doing this. I don't like when YouTubers talk about their subscribers numbers and stuff. I feel like I have proof that a lot of people might say oh, I'm not doing it for the subscribers, but you definitely know that that's true for me, because I've been the first 8 months I did this, I had 10 subscribers and I still only have 200 and people aren't really subscribing, which is fine. I've been doing it for over a year and I'm never gonna make money doing this, so I feel comfortable saying I'm not doing it for the subscribers because it's true. Which hopefully makes me seem a little bit more genuine when I'm happy that the people who are watching are watching, because it must be helping them. Otherwise, why would they be doing it? How do I do it? Oh, okay. But I guess I still have to keep convincing myself of that, because it does feel good when I get more subscribers. I guess it just feels like a game, you're getting more points. So that's why it feels good. But
That tower is impressive, even as a ruin.
I'm happy if people can get something out of it. And if there's anything else I could be doing, I'm open to suggestions. Don't know what else I could do. I'm able to reply to all the comments too, which is nice. And I can actually think a lot about what I should say. It usually takes a while, and I try to write out a thoughtful comment because I don't get too many, and I want to be I'm glad you're. It's really important to me. I might have mentioned this before, but that people feel comfortable commenting, because I know how hard that is. I never comment. So I want to. What does this do? Blah, 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 blah. So whenever somebody comments, I want to encourage that and be you did a good job, and I know it was hard. Good job, I'm proud of you. I don't say that on every comment, but sometimes I am I'm so glad you commented. I think most people who watch me are like me, so I think it's helpful. It's not like overkill to say that kind of thing to somebody. Because a normal person might be like, well, it's just a comment. Like, who cares? Why do you have to be so, like, emotional about it? But, like, I know how hard it is for people like me. And I want to be like, good job. You did it. Keep doing it. Oh. The book. What am I doing? Clear threats. Is that where I am at the crossroad? He's talking about, in the book, tragedy and comedy. He gave definitions for those two things that I'm like reading, and I'm like, oh, okay, write that down. What are the definitions for tragedy and comedy? Can I kill those things? I'm used to Breath of the Wild, where you just like shoot it with an arrow. Tragedy is shattering of the forms and connection to the forms, and comedy is the inexhaustible joy of life. Those were the definitions he gave. The comedy definition isn't very... It's kind of vague. The tragedy one was more interesting, like shattering of the forms and connection to the forms. He gave the example of, like, I guess what he's trying to say is, like, the tragedy is understanding, like, the indifference of the universe towards your being, and, like, the chaos of he gave an example of, like, oh, okay. This is happening. This is not a drill. We've glitched. Okay, what do I do? I'm using a PS4 controller. So, can I end there? It's too early. Let's just talk for 5 minutes. I like it when the Game Grumps did this, but it's weird that I'm just doing it by myself. Should I talk about the book a little bit? He gave an example of, like, the boiling water doesn't concern itself with the bubbles that it produces. I guess the humans are the bubbles, and the cosmos is the boiling water. So, like, bubbles are created and burst and fill the air, but the boiling water doesn't care about that. That was what I got from it. So that's what tragedy is, like, stories that are about, like, dealing with a universe that seems like it doesn't care what happens to you. Bubbles burst, but how do you deal with it? And I guess the structure of the story is how you make the story, and then but the main idea is just tragedy is. But then he said comedy is the inexhaustible joy of life. He didn't really explain that as much. I remember he was saying, like, tragedy and comedy are, like, connected, and they're all under the same umbrella of human experience. the upwards and the downwards, he said. But he didn't really go into detail about that. I might talk about this more tomorrow. I don't know how much I'll have to say about it. Bring my microphone. This is weird. I'm not playing. This is kind of like I get a little bit religious-y, but oh, okay. So he said, together, tragedy and comedy constitute the totality of the revelation that is life. That's how he phrased it. Then he started talking about something that I'm like, oh, this is what I was talking about before. He's like, in mythology, the actual historical events don't matter. It doesn't matter. I should preface this by saying, like, I am a Christian, but like, to me, it doesn't matter that Noah's Ark happened or that Jonah got eaten by a whale. I guess it does matter that Jesus existed. If there's a heaven, that does matter, and if there's an afterlife. I think Joseph Campbell's kind of like, he thinks like there isn't an afterlife. I'm still, I guess, I don't know. I guess there's no way to know, but he's kind of like assuming there is no afterlife. So if there isn't, then, but even if there is, the only one thing that matters is that if Jesus died and if he came back to life, and so you have to believe that to get to heaven. That's kind of the rules for Christians. But it doesn't matter, even if you do believe that one thing, it doesn't matter if Noah's Ark happened. It doesn't matter if there was a flood. It's so much more important. I guess I forget how he phrased it. I didn't write it down. It's so much more important, like, the story and how you connect with the story. It's hard to explain. It's like all we have are our experiences, and we're just us. We're not, it doesn't matter, like, who cares if there was an actual flood, as long as we get the point of the story. I guess I'm trying to be more profound than I should be, but like, the story teaches us something, and it doesn't matter if it actually happened. If we still take away the power is in the story, it's not in the actual event. And this might be like a personal opinion of mine. Like, for some reason, I really value stories and storytelling. I think it's like central to like humanity. I think there's a lot of power in like story, and that's why I wanted to read this book. And it does, I've mentioned this before, but it does bother me how much Christians care about, like, I guess, literalists. They care, like, if you want to be a Christian, you have to believe that everything in the Bible happened exactly as it said. I think my parents might be that way a little bit. I don't know, I think, I don't want to say this, but like, I think if anybody thought about it a little bit, they would be like, well, it's probably not realistic to believe that everything happened in the Bible exactly as it said, like, historically, but that doesn't matter. Should I end there? Yeah, I guess I talked about this before, so it was weird. I don't know. Hopefully it's saved. I could tell the game wasn't working very well. I guess just because the game's old. I was kind of getting excited looking through all my like PlayStation 3 games and being like, oh, I could play this and I could play this. But maybe they might not work. I don't know. Okay. That was a little experiment I just did. And hopefully I wasn't too boring. I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow and I'll try to fix this. So, goodbye.